Thank you.
On the pay rise. I'm wondering, apart from going on holidays and having a nice home or going out for nice dinners, how do you treat yourself when you want to treat yourself to something? What's your weakness? Is it watches? Is it wine?
Yeah, I'm not very materialistic, to be fair. I love having my family around. I like nice holidays. I like to have a good, comfortable house. But especially what I like is to have people around me that give me love and stability. That's my treat. And my family, especially my wife, my kids, my parents, my sister, and my friends, what they give me is that they treat me the best way, whether I'm first, bottom, whether I have won 9 in a row or lost 3 in a row. And that's a joy and a privilege. And that's my treat.
In terms of injuries, you say you've been very unlucky in recent weeks. But I was looking at the stats from last season. I think you had 6 players who started 34 games or more, another 4 who made more than 30 appearances. Would you accept that perhaps you were lucky with injuries last season and that's why this year is going to be such a challenge?
Well, I don't know. I think it was a lot of work done in the right way, and what the staff and the way we have evolved a lot of the things internally to give the players the best possible and to build that robustness in the squad. It was great. I think this season we started very unlucky because with some injuries that you cannot control, and it's very difficult to do that. So we'll have to wait and see at the end of the season how well we've done. But certainly we'll put everything that we can to be availability-wise at least as good as last year.
And with the injury to Martin, I know we don't know what the extent of it is at the moment, but for a player like Leandro Trossard, who at times has had to cope with being a substitute coming on, as you mentioned the other week, how much of an opportunity is this for him to shine? And just can you talk again about the qualities that he brings?
Well, I don't think Leo needs any injury to shine. I think he has earned the right with performances and the way he has conducted himself in any scenario to have a very important role in the team. And he is very important and he's a crucial player for us.
Right.
Hi, Mikel. This time last year, Kai Havertz had sort of struggled to adapt to his new surroundings, but now he's probably one of the first names on the team sheet. What does that say about him, and particularly if Martin isn't available on Sunday, how important is Kai going to be in sort of, filling that void potentially? Yeah.
Well, that shows the consistency and performances that he's shown over the last year or so, and that's what we need from our players. That way we brought him here to be one of the main players and be a very prolific goal scorer, regardless in the position that he plays in. He's added that, and he's added many other things to the team as well that probably are not noticeable because you are not there, guys.
And you touched on it earlier, but the game between Spurs and City at the back end of last season, where you said you were sort of jumping around your front room with your sons when Spurs missed a few chances. Is it important to remember the kind of disappointment that both you and your players probably felt after that game when you came into training the next day? Can that be used as kind of motivation to ensure you get a big performance in this kind of match?
Well, it certainly was an experience at the end. You have to reflect on did you try, did you do the best that you possibly could? And if that answer is yes, and somebody else was able to achieve it because they were superior or better or they had in the key moments what they needed and we didn't, you have to accept that. That's it.
And just lastly, you scored 2 goals from set pieces at Spurs last season, and Declan was, of course, one of your corner takers. Has that been part of the challenge this week, that you're going to have to potentially mix things up? And actually, can it make it, make yourselves more unpredictable in a sense?
Yeah, if there is a very specific phase of play that we are so dependent on one player, then we have a problem, and we haven't built our methodology or our way of attacking or defending any phase of play in that way. We're going to adapt to other players and the quality that they have, but still be very efficient, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
Okay, finally we'll go to Gary.
Can I ask one for a colleague who's been us some kind? He just wants to know what was the key for his development and improvement this year, in the calendar year? What was the key for him?
Probably his consistency out there, how much he wants it, what he does to achieve it. Because a lot of players want it, but they are not ready and they are not consistent to be willing to do what it takes to go through that, and he did 100%.
Kevin?
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.